The government of Ghana has strongly condemned what it describes as treatment and handling of Israeli authorities, hinting the country could implement reciprocal actions. Still to come, the Media Foundation for West Africa has condemned what it describes as state-backed arrests and detentions of bloggers and journalists in Ghana. Business President John Mahama has appealed to international vaccine manufacturers to partner with governments in establishing a Ghana vaccine manufacturing hub in the country. On the international front, 9 women have been killed during a protest in Lamurde, Adamawa State in northeastern Nigeria. Stay with us shortly.
Playing for your country, enye easy. Scoring, enye easy. Winning, enye easy. You know what be easy now? Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Aye easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar, roasted granules. Just add water. Sharp my soakings make ready. Taste and energy. Made easy. I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Champion taste.
Also available strawberry, coconut, and chocomore. This advert is FDA approved.
Hey, so mommy, who is going to do my day jollof?
Oh, Kwame. You know our secret, right?
Yeah.
Efia.
Yes, me. I've got it.
Now add your Gino jollof mix.
The perfect blend of tomatoes, pepper, and fine herbs and spices to ensure a consistent taste every time. And there you have it, your original Ghana jollof.
Jollof so good.
Jollof so cool. Tasty, yeah.
What is going on here?
Enjoy jollof the Ghana way. Gino jollof is made with the perfect blend of tomatoes, pepper, and fine herbs and spices to ensure a consistent taste every time.
This advert is FDA approved.
At ABC News GH_now to our stories. Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Investment Fund for Electronic Communications and Deputy Director of Elections at IT for the National Democratic Congress has dismissed claims that the party's challenge of the Midday seat is part of a plan to secure a third term for President John Dramani Mahama. Speaking on ABC in the morning, Tanko described the suggestions as mere propaganda from the NPP, insisting that the idea of a third term is not up for discussion. He emphasized that the NDC's focus is simply to reclaim the Midday seat, which he alleges was rigged. He stated that the country should dismiss the claims with the contempt it deserves.
Yeah, it's not on the table for discussion as of now. We are not going to fall on the dagger of NPP propaganda. It's not on the table. Why are they bringing up issues that are not on the table? The issue on the table as of now is Midday rerun. That is what we are discussing. And I'm asking whether Midday rerun has something to do with what they are trying to bring onto the table. What has it got to do with that? The people want representation. It's our representation of the people. You rig an election in Midday. The court saw it and nullify the election and ask that we should go for a rerun, and hence must break rules. And they are creating their own stories and want us to follow them into the gutters with that kind of stuff. No, we will not fall into that trap. We are not going to follow.
Now, the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Investment Fund for Electronic Communications and Deputy Director of Elections and IT for the National Democratic Congress, Tanko Rashid Computer, has revealed that the NDC is targeting 2 additional parliamentary seats currently held by the New Patriotic Party. Speaking on ABC in the morning, he stated that the party is determined to win back the Bandai seat and will move strategically to secure the other 2 constituencies. He added that they do not intend to disclose those targets to their opponents for now.
Apart from Bandai, we want to finish Bandai. We have other constituencies. There are 2 more constituencies we are targeting. But now we won't let them know. We don't want to give them BP. They were in Parliament misbehaving yesterday, and we're looking at them. We say we'll come after. We want to finish Bandai. We are coming after you people. We're there in misbehaving. We won't let them know. It's under our sleeves. When we finish Bandai, we'll come for them. Apart from Bandai, we want to finish Bandai. We have other constituencies. There are 2 more constituencies we are targeting. But now we won't let them know. We don't want to give them BP. They were in Parliament misbehaving yesterday, and we're looking at them. We say we'll come after. We want to finish Bandai. We are coming after you people. We're there in misbehaving. We won't let them know. It's under our sleeves. When we finish Bandai, we'll come for them.
Still on this, former Director of Communications for the NPP in Ashanti region, Dennis Kwakwa, has defended the minority's decision to disrupt parliamentary proceedings over the Bandai seat dispute, describing it as the best way to go. According to him, President John Mahama's administration is gradually returning the country to the days of revolution by undermining democratic progress achieved since the era of former President J.A. Kufuor, including reforms like the repeal of the criminal libel law. He accused the NDC of using the Bandai controversy to instigate violence and criticized the Speaker of Parliament for being too political and uncompromising.
The John Mahama administration gradually is trying to take this country back to the days of revolution. If you look at the sequence of events that started from the era of President J. Kufuor, that sought to make clear what democracy actually means for the constitution that we made for ourselves in 1992. The repeal of the criminal libel law and many other things came to just give freedom of speech, just to allow a rule of law, allow state institutions to do their work without any kind of interferences. But when John Mahama Kinehap got the opportunity to come back for his second time, gradually he's taking advantage of the democratic right that Ghanaians have given him to take us back to the days of revolution, leaving the tenets of revolution under democratic rule that Ghanaians have given him. This whole Bandai saga, what is in there? What is in there for the NDC? Apart from trying to instigate violence during the by-election, go and kill people, go and destroy property, what else are they looking for? And unfortunately for this country, the Speaker, who has been given that privilege to preside over Parliament, also sees no common sense in some of the things that the minority always talk about. He's too political, non-compromising, and always trying to do the bidding of the NDC. As simple as that. And so I believe what the minority did in Parliament yesterday could not have been done in any.
Still on Parliament, senior lecturer and political scientist at Kumasi Technical University, Dr. Samuel Lefrie, has forewarned the National Democratic Congress not to use its supermajority to bully the minority. In his statement on ABC in the morning, he bemoaned the fact that the NDC government's business will suffer if they are not able to cooperate with the minority. He further called on leadership to compromise, apply common sense, and not replicate what was done to them when they were in the minority.
A system where if you do me, I also do you, something like that. And that is what is happening. And that is what Parliament is now turning to. If you use other means to get to your destination, or maybe you used to end up in a way where you can try to achieve your goal, then basically you tend to have that intention of that you think that is the option. You can barely understand how it happens during the I think in the late or the ending of the 8th Parliament. Looking at how the NDC was doing things, and even we saw the NDC marching, parliamentarians marching, and those kind of things. So sometimes, if you do to the other side, and they also get the opportunity, you can also do to the other side of it, and that is what is being done. That is how Parliament is now being seen. So any opportunity that they get, any opportunity that the other side get, whether they are in government or in the opposition, they want to replicate what happened or what the other party did to them during their term of office. So that is what has been seen all this while. So the NDC is not careful, and they think that, I think they should not be deceived. The NDC should not be deceived as having the numbers that they can just make it a way that they can use to bully. At the end of the day, you are the government in power, and you are bound to lose a lot than them. A system where if you do me, I also do you, something like that. And that is what is happening, and that is what Parliament is now turning to. If you use other means to get to your destination, or maybe you used to end up in a way where you can try to achieve your goal, then basically you tend to have that intention of that you think that is the option. You can barely understand how it happens during the I think in the late or the ending of the 8th Parliament. Looking at how the NDC was doing things, and even we saw the NDC marching, parliamentarians marching, and those kind of things. So sometimes, if you do to the other side, and they also get the opportunity, you can also do to the other side of it, and that is what is being done. That is how Parliament is now being seen. So any opportunity that they get, any opportunity that the other side get, whether they are in government or in the opposition, they want to replicate what happened or what the other party did to them during their term of office. So that is what has been seen all this while. So the NDC is not careful, and they think that, I think they should not be deceived. The NDC should not be deceived as having the numbers that they can just make it a way that they can use to bully. At the end of the day, you are the government in power, and you are bound to lose a lot than them. A system where if you do me, I also do you, something like that. And that is what is happening.
We'll be bringing you more conversations on this, but in more news, the acting national chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Smith Dankwa Bote, says he will not contest for the substantive national chairman position, admitting that he failed to lead the party to victory in 2024 general elections. Mr. Bote explained that since his ideas and strategies did not yield the expected results, it is only right for him to step aside and allow someone else to take up the role. He emphasized that his principles and integrity will not allow him to go back on this decision. He, however, noted that he will continue to support the party with his knowledge and resources to help the NPP return to power.
I've said it severally that I'm not going to contest again anymore.
Why is that so?
I'm principled. I went for this position because I had wanted the party to maintain power. We did not. So, in my opinion, I think that I have failed. So, why should I go for another elections? I'm not here to joke. I'm here to work. I'm here to work for the party. I'm here for victory. If the victory didn't come, I should step aside for somebody else to come, because Maybe my ideas and my strategies didn't work. So I have to give way for another person to come. I'm a man of principle and a man of integrity. I will never come back. I will support the party all right with all what I have, my knowledge, my money, my everything that I'm supposed to do for this party to come power, I will do. But for me to come as the chairman of this party again, I think I will be dishonest to myself. I've said it severally that I'm not going to contest again anymore.
And why is that so?
I'm principled. I went for this position because I had wanted the party to maintain power.
Let's go back to Parliament and have conversations with the MP for Efia constituency, Isaac Boamanyako. Good afternoon, Tenny. Welcome to ABC Midday News.
Good afternoon, my sister. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How about you?
By grace.
All right. Now, with regards to the chaos that occurred in Parliament yesterday, what compelled you to insist that the House be adjourned once the Speaker deferred the ruling on the Pandai seat vacancy? Sorry.
Right. Thank you very much once again, and a very good afternoon to your cherished viewers and listeners. I would say that we put the blame squarely on the hands of both the majority and the Speaker of Parliament, because we are governed by rules, and if the rules doesn't permit the Speaker to authorize the clerk to Parliament to issue a letter to cause a rerun of the Pandai seat, when clearly it flouts the law, it flouts the Constitution, it flouts even the ruling of the Speaker himself, then what do you expect but to blame the majority and the Speaker for what you now call as the chaos that happened in Parliament? We from the minority are very much focused. We are law-abiding citizens, but we will not allow the majority to use its numbers to bulldoze us and to perpetuate illegalities that exist in the way they want to treat the issue from Pandai.
Looking at the actions that took place in Parliament yesterday, Ghanaians are crying out that that is unbefitting for members of Parliament. What do you make of that?
Exactly what I'm saying, that these are creations by the majority, led by the leader on the majority side and the Speaker, just to try and create a narrative as if the minority are chaotic. But how would you behave when clearly someone's seat is being taken away from him forcefully, when the Constitution allows you a right to appeal, when a judgment is made against you, and when the case is on appeal and you have applied for a stay of execution and it is before the court, the Speaker has been served accordingly? How on earth would someone write a letter again to the Electoral Commission to rerun? At the end of the day, should a different person be elected as a member of Parliament, and then thereafter the court rule that Matthew Nyendam is continuing to be the legitimate member of Parliament, how are you going to treat that? And who are you going to hold responsible for the anarchy that is being erupted? And so we are on the firm belief that the majority plus the Speaker acted in bad faith. They didn't act in consonance with the law. The minority are not going to allow it to happen. We are not going to allow the majority to use their numbers and their narrative to go against us. We want the Ghanaian people to understand that we have filed a process in the High Court for a stay of execution. We have filed a case against the judgment of the court at the Court of Appeal. We have even filed a writ of certiorari at the Supreme Court to quash the decision of the High Court judge. And then it is only incumbent by the law that the law is allowed to run its full course. Thereafter, whatever the determinations are, we can all abide by it. But you cannot cause a letter to ask for a rerun of a seat that is in contest in the court of competent jurisdiction, and that will never happen. And so the chaos that you so call and see is a creature of the minority. How can they even continue to do business? What did you see on the floor? They said they are doing business. Business where the mace, which is the authority of Parliament, had been dislocated. The mace has been taken from its proper position, and a marshal was handling the mace against the rules of our standing order, and they did what they did, and you call that a rule of law. That I believe the government and the majority should bow down their heads in shame for what happened yesterday.
Now, you're a lawyer, and you'd agree with me that filing for a stay of execution doesn't mean that the stay of execution has been granted. And in this case, you're expecting the Speaker of Parliament to adhere to what hasn't been passed yet, that is the stay of execution. What other measures could you have taken in response to this? We know that usually the minority would walk out of Parliament. What happened this time?
It is clear by our rules of court that when you apply for a stay of execution and people are put on notice, it is only a judicial precedent that you allow the court to determine the matter before you follow through with anything. The Speaker himself, in his ruling to us in Parliament, when the majority leader applied for the seat to be declared vacant, he indicated that cannot be because you need a 1 week grace period. And that 1 week grace period is to allow for a possible appeal if the applicant or the defendant so feel aggrieved. And then when that application is done, the Speaker's ruling said that it serves as a delayance. It serves as a mechanism to still put that process of a rerun or the orders of the court in abeyance until and unless the matter is determined. This is the Speaker's ruling, which is consistent with the position of the law when it comes to a stay. When we say stay of execution, it doesn't mean that stay is in perpetuity. It means that the court would have to quickly make a determination whether there is merit in the basis for which you are asking for a stay. So are you telling me that the court is actually sitting today? Are you saying that it is for no good reason that the law provided for that means that you hold on, let us get a determination before we proceed? So when you go ahead and now the stay is upheld, or at the end of the day, the applicant wins his application, and then you go ahead to run a rerun, and someone else is elected. How do you reconcile the position of the decision of the court against a rerun election? So it is premature. The position of the law is very clear. They only had to give themselves a little more time. Why are they in a haste for the court to make it? Because to declare a vacancy doesn't lie in the mouth of the Speaker. To declare a vacancy lies in the mouth of the court, and the court made that determination, which is now under judicial review, which is now under judicial consideration. So that first pronouncement is supposed to be on hold until the court makes further determination. The Court of Appeal is bigger than the High Court. If they are seized with an appellate application, it is only incumbent that the decision of the High Court be arrested, particularly when the outcome of the process, if you want to go to rerun, will lead into an absurdity.
All right. Now, you are saying that government business would not continue until the Pandai matter is resolved. Isn't it a contempt of court, or doesn't it go against the constitutional standing orders in Parliament?
Parliament is a master of its own rules. The standing orders are a creature of Parliament itself. Everything that we have done is in line with the standing orders. You have a right to protest. And then the business of government, we don't do it by majority force. You build it on consensus. So the majority trying to bully their way without engaging in consensus building is an affront and a shame into themselves. Because at the end of the day, they should have found a way to discuss the matter. They should use their numbers to seek consensus and not to try and bully their way through. And so I believe our point has been well articulated. I believe the good people of Ghana understand the position from the minority perspective. It is the government that is supposed to do its business. Its business has to be built on consensus with us. It shouldn't come by way of bullying. It shouldn't come by way of cheating. It shouldn't come by way of even flouting the constitution that we are all supposed to protect.
How were you bullied by the majority?
No, but when you know clearly that there are misunderstanding on the floor, and you say that whether there's an issue on the floor that has to be resolved or not, you go ahead and conduct business in chaos when the maize has been moved from its position, when you have all the microphones in the chamber disabled for only the majority leader's microphone to work, when people are moving motions and using wrong words that are appropriate for moving of motions. Please, everything that happened yesterday was a sham.
Right. Now, Mr. Nyako, moving forward, what actions will you take regarding the UMPAS, the Pandai seat issue, and what conditions must be met before you fully participate in parliamentary business again?
I believe that the majority knows that they are wrong. I believe the speaker knows that he has erred. I believe that they themselves will come back and rectify the errors that they have committed. For us on the minority, we are waiting on leadership for the next steps. We want to go to parliament peacefully. We are going to watch the narratives that happen. We know that the High Court in Tamale is also sitting on the matter as I speak to you now. We will await for the determination from the High Court whether our application to put a say will be upheld. And then if it is upheld, we are in peace to continue with business. If it is thrown out, we still have a right to repeat it at the Court of Appeal. I believe that by now, majority will be engaging minority for cool heads to prevail. We don't want Ghanaians to see these things happen every day. We don't believe this is what Ghanaians voted us for as members of parliament. But as members of parliament, we have a right to also protect the interests of Ghanaians. Ghanaians that voted for Matthew Nyendam in Pandai, they need us to protect their votes. If you listen to the narrative from Pandai, the chiefs have written to the president that what they are doing is wrong. They know that Matthew was legitimately elected as their member of parliament. And so we are here to protect and to preserve the constitutional right of the good people of Pandai. But as I said, today we are in peace. We go to parliament by 12 noon in peace. We will await the direction of our leadership, and then we should be able to raise some compromises and allow the business of government to continue.
All right. Thank you for your time this afternoon, sir.
I'm most grateful, my dear sister, for the opportunity.
Right. That was MP for Efia constituency, Isaac Boamanyako. Now, away from that, tensions continue to mount within the New Patriotic Party as the January 31, 2026 presidential primaries approach. While the contest is between 5 candidates, the tension is particularly rife between Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and Kennedy Ejapon. Escalating exchanges between their camps have sparked concerns about whether the party can remain united after the polls. Despite the heated competition, both factions remain confident of victory. They also insist they are ready to bring the other side on board once the primaries are over, as the party works to maintain cohesion ahead of the 2028 general elections. There's more in this package.
The NPP headquarters was charged with energy and anticipation as supporters gathered to witness the official launch of amendments to the party's constitution. According to party leadership, the revisions described as historic are aimed at broadening the electoral college and deepening inclusivity in both parliamentary and presidential primaries. Former Minister for Information, Fatimatu Abubakar, emphasized the need to reintegrate former party executives who lost internal elections into the voting process, noting that it will empower them to continue contributing meaningfully to the party's development.
The constituency level, when you work with executives and they don't get the benefit of...
We apologize for the wrong bite. We'll be bringing you the right one soon. But the Media Foundation for West Africa has raised concerns over what it describes as a growing pattern of state-backed arrests and detentions of bloggers and activists in Ghana, carried out under the pretext of combating false news. The latest case, according to the Media Foundation for West Africa, involves Democracy Hub activist Wandel Nanaya Oyeboah, whose arrest, the foundation said, signals a troubling rollback of Ghana's democratic gains and echoes the repressive logic of the repealed criminal libel law. In a statement on Wednesday, the Media Foundation for West Africa highlighted the recent arrest of Democracy Hub activist Wandel Nana Yeboah as a disturbing example. Yeboah was detained on November 26, 2025 by the Criminal Investigations Department following a petition from the Ashanti Democrats alleging he had made substantiated claims linking 3 regional ministers to illegal mining activities. The Media Foundation for West Africa noted that Yeboah had already issued a formal retraction and apology on November 18, admitting the claims were unsubstantiated. Despite this, authorities proceeded with his arrest. Other similar cases include blogger Samuel Amadoto, arrested on November 20 after complaints from a former National Communications Authority official, and Bono Regional NPP Chairman Kwame Bafo, detained in September over comments critical of the Inspector General of Police. We have the bite for the contest of the New Patriotic Party's upcoming presidential primaries. Take a look.
Is building within the New Patriotic Party as delegates prepare to choose between Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, Kennedy Ejapon, and others in the 31st January 2026 presidential primaries. What began as a competitive race has intensified, with both the Bawumia and Kennedy camps trading verbal attacks, raising concerns about post-election unity. A leading member of Kennedy Ejapon's team, Dr. Palgrave Boache Dankwa, says they are confident of victory and ready to work with the Bawumia side after the polls.
We are winning this election, and so for those of us that are in the Kennedy Ejapon camp, we always are welcoming Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and his team to come and join us after they lose, because we are winning this election. I thought that your question would have been for Dr. Bawumia's camp that have been victimizing. Well, I thought that for them that have been victimizing, how would they feel when they lose the election coming to work with us? And I'm very confident that we are winning this election, and so we'll welcome Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and his team to join us because it's one political party and we are winning this election. Kennedy is going to be declared the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party.
On the other hand, a key figure in the Bawumia camp and MP for Achimoda, Alexander Kwesi-Akwa, describes Dr. Bawumia as a unifier capable of restoring calm and cohesion within the party once the contest is over.
Of all the candidates, the one who is more reconciliatory, the one who is peace-loving, the one who is very calm is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Today, he's been accused of accepting defeat too early, a virtue that has been hailed by the international community, a virtue that a lot of people have praised. Now his contestants, other contenders are using it against him. So if we're looking for somebody who can create peace, who can allow some form of serenity in the party, is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
With all sides expressing confidence and calling for unity, all eyes are now on the NPP to determine whether the party can move past its internal tensions. The outcome will not only shape the NPP's 2028 campaign, but also test its ability to...
We're going for a short commercial break. We'll be right back with more news. Stay tuned.
Rent back with the Pia Upa. Come on, come see you. Where this guy? My friend, still before.
It's the Telecel Too Much Money promo. Win cash daily, weekly, and a grand prize of 1.2 million Ghana cedis. Just reload or buy a bundle with Telecel Cash to earn points and stand a chance to win big. Dial *500# or visit the Telecel Play app to obtain and start winning in the Telecel Too Much Money promo. Terms and conditions apply. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
When is campaign? If you're a baby, many schedule no. If you know, meto chiaka. Inti ene, uno ba no mpe baby amobeda. Oh no abeka. Ye did too much money. No matter.
Telecel, connecting energies.
Welcome back from the break. You're watching ABC Midday News live on ABC News Ghana Television. We're streaming live on Facebook at ABC News GH_. In more news, the government of Ghana has strongly condemned what it describes as the ill treatment and traumatic handling of Ghanaian travelers by Israeli authorities at the Ben Gurion International Airport in Tel Aviv, calling the actions provocative and unjustifiable. In a press statement issued on Tuesday, December 10, 2025, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs said 7 Ghanaian nationals traveling to Israel on Sunday, 7 December 2025, were detained at the airport without cause. Among the detained were 4 members of parliament who were in Israel to participate in the ongoing annual International Cybersecurity Conference in Tel Aviv. According to the ministry, the affected travelers were held for more than 5 hours and released only after strenuous diplomatic intervention. The remaining 3 Ghanaians were not released but rather deported to the next available flight and have since returned to Ghana. The statement expressed deep concern that Ghanaian travelers appear to be deliberately targeted, stressing that the treatment meted out was inhumane, traumatic and inconsistent with long-standing friendly relations between Ghana and Israel. In other news, the Economic Community of West African States has declared a state of emergency in the region following a recent wave of coup and failed military mutinies. The announcement was made on Tuesday, December 9, 2025 by ECOWAS Commission President Omar Touré during the 55th session of the Mediation and Security Council held at the ministerial level in Abuja. Touré said the recent event underscored the urgent need to reflect on the future of our democracy and to strengthen the security of our community. The emergency declaration comes as West African nations grapple with political instability, raising concerns about the resilience of democratic governance in the sub-region. Joining us on the line is Dr. Ishmael Hulovo, International Relations Expert, to have further conversations on this. Good afternoon, sir, and welcome to ABC Midday News.
Good afternoon to you and good afternoon to your viewers.
All right. Now, I'd like to start from the statement released by the Foreign Affairs of Ghana. What could have accounted for the treatment the Ghanaian nationals received at the Israel airport?
Okay, thank you. I'm suspecting that the Israelis may be worried about their chances of deporting Ghanaian nationals who they consider as not meeting the criteria to be within their jurisdiction. So if you look at certain portions of the statement, the issue has to do with their defense, has to do with the fact that there are certain Ghanaians that they intend to deport, and they are not having the cooperation of the embassy in Israel to do so. So normally these will arise because then the Ghanaian mission may want time and to go through the paperwork and be sure, a verification to be sure that these are actually Ghanaians who are entitled to return to Ghana. So I believe that what is going on may be the same template that the U.S. used, create tension and then use it as a negotiation strategy. So you recall that the U.S. initially imposed visa restrictions on Ghana. The U.S. initially raises question about students overstaying their visa, and then we went to that negotiation. Somehow we have to accept that we'll take on U.S. deportees, and then thereafter some of those restrictions were lifted. So I think that this may be an issue that the Israelis may have contemplated over time and realize that one way of getting it resolved quickly is to create something, this kind of diplomatic route, and use it then to draw Ghana into a negotiation so that they can resolve their issue of Ghanaians who they have detained and who want to repatriate to Ghana. So yes, reading the statement, I think that we should quickly resolve whatever it has to do with migration, since that is the area they have pointed out. If there's anything to be done, we should engage them and understand what exactly it is and resolve it, because then we have other key interests with
now, Dr. Lobo. All right. Hello, can you hear me?
I'm hearing you.
All right. Now, again, the statement noted that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is going to take countermeasures, reciprocate measures or actions against Israel with regards to what they did. Is there a walk on the right path?
Now, so you have to understand that statement within the context of what the ministry want to put out there. So in the first place, the ministry wants to assert that Ghana is not a country that will allow itself to be bullied. So of course, within the international space, you can be bullied as a country. So one way, one of the, because if you look at the delegation that is the victim of what the Israelis did, this is a parliamentary delegation. A parliamentary delegation carries some weight. It's not just ordinary people who are going there. And this parliamentary delegation is going to participate in a conference or in a workshop sort of. And so that should indicate to you the level of that delegation, and that whole delegation being detained for 5 hours or so is not normal. So in the statement, I think that the ministry wants to communicate that as a sovereign nation, we will not be built. So putting in the measure of we can take countermeasures is to alert the Israelis, as it were, that Ghana-Israel relations is a mutual thing. It doesn't mean that Ghana is just taking from Israel without giving anything in return. So if it is mutuality, it means that when you hurt me, I'm also capable of hurting you. So that's just the way it should be communicated. And if you look at also portions of it where they say they are going to summon the Israeli ambassador, those are all things that you do when you are displeased with an international action by another state. So but if you come to the substance of does Ghana need to take a countermeasure, that will be escalating the issue. So what should be done is that after engagement with the ambassador, which we have summoned, summoning means that we are doing so in protest. After that, then we should also use more backdoor channels of diplomacy, engage more with them, rather than imposing countermeasures. Countermeasures only will escalate the tension, because you see, international tensions are such that when they escalate, the only way you resolve them is actually through engagement. So, for instance, even if you come to the ultimate of war, you find out that after fighting and the killings, what actually end all that is engagement and negotiation. So I believe that yes, this is a normal response. This is okay to respond that way, but then we must be a little bit more cautious in trying to implement countermeasures, which may at the end of the day escalate the tension. So we should rather engage them diplomatically.
All right. Now, Dr. Lobo, let's look at our region. ECOWAS has declared a state of emergency in the region. Is it long overdue that this is finally happening? ECOWAS has declared a state of emergency.
Yes, I think that it is a welcome news, but it has come late in the day. And of course, a lot has happened. We have waited. The Sahel states are gone. We have seen attempted coup in Guinea-Bissau. We have seen another one in Benin. And of course, once this emergency has been declared, it gives ECOWAS more of emergency mode fighting. It means that people are now going to pay attention more to what's going on. But at the end of the day, the point is that it's not only coups that are the worry. It's not only instability in terms of open conflict. It is the return of authoritarianism within the region, even within so-called democracies, where constitutional guarantees of human rights, constitutional guarantees of political participation are being undermined by the very people who those guarantees are implemented to protect, the president and then their ruling group. So ideally, when you look at it, no matter how you look at it, the democracy, stability, and good governance within this region is on the siege. So it is a welcome news, but then it's going to take a lot to reverse the trend that we are seeing.
Right. Thank you for your time this afternoon, sir. That was international relations expert Dr. Ishmael Lobo. Now, in more news, we will be bringing you business news. In the world of business, President John Dramani Mahama is appealing to international vaccine manufacturers to partner with government in establishing a Ghana vaccine manufacturing hub, a strategic initiative aimed at boosting the country's and Africa's health security. Speaking at an engagement with pharmaceutical industry players at the WHX Leaders Conference, Mr. Mahama said the continent's experience during the COVID-19 pandemic revealed deep vulnerabilities, especially Africa's dependence on imported vaccines. According to him, the proposed hub will not only enhance Ghana's capacity to produce vaccines locally, but will also strengthen the region's preparedness for future health emergencies.
Africa seeks a new paradigm of partnership, one that is defined not by dependency, but by co-investment, innovation, and shared values. So we call on vaccine manufacturers to partner with us to build African vaccine production hubs. We call on pharmaceutical companies to expand into biologics, generics, and essential medicine manufacturing in Africa. Diagnostics, innovators, biotech firms, and medical device producers to establish assembly plants, R&D centers, and fabrication facilities here in Africa. And DFIs, private equity firms, venture capital, and philanthropies to co-finance Africa's health industrialization. The conditions have never been more favorable. The African Continental Free Trade Area offers a unified market of about 1.3 billion. A growing innovation ecosystem is ready for acceleration. The African Medicines Agency is strengthening regulatory harmony, and most importantly, political will across the continent.
That's all for business news. Up next is sports with Suti.
Introducing Betway's Bet Influencer, a groundbreaking feature where you can make money by just sharing codes. He just needs to share his codes and make money. The more his codes are used, the more money he makes. Oh yes, so what are you waiting for? Anyone can be a bet influencer. Share your codes and make money. Bet Influencer, another world first from Betway.
This advert has been approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Betway, get way more.
Hello there, good afternoon. Welcome to the sports segment on the Midday News. I am Eugene Oporisote. Let's start off with the Champions League, where Real Madrid face Manchester City tonight in match day 6 of the UEFA Champions League. And the pressure is firmly on Madrid's manager, Xabi Alonso. Spanish reports say Alonso could be sacked if his team fails to beat the defending champions, Manchester City. Madrid's form has been poor, winning just one of their last 5 La Liga games, with a home defeat to Celta Vigo, increasing scrutiny on the coach. Speaking ahead of the match, Alonso said he sees the game as an opportunity to prove his worth despite the difficult run.
And the next one is the best one, so you need to face it, and not just myself. I think that the players and the fans, everyone knows because they have faced against City so many times for the last years. We are what we are expecting. But for sure, it's a big challenge, but I see as an opportunity at the moment. And the next one is the best one, so you need to face it, and not just myself.
Now, Manchester City travel to the Bernabeu tonight after their shock home defeat to Bayer Leverkusen in their last Champions League game. Reacting to reports that Xabi Alonso could be sacked if he fails to beat City, Pep Guardiola says he has sympathy for the Real Madrid manager. Guardiola then added that this is part of the job when managing giants like Real Madrid or Barcelona.
See, because it was we were together 1 year and a half, 2 years. It was an incredible experience being with him, not just as a manager. So we share many things, families as well. So Barcelona and Madrid are the toughest opponents, the toughest clubs, I would say, to be a manager. The more difficult ones for the pressure, for environment. So last season, I've done last season. I would have been sacked 6 months before end of the season. So it's a difficult place, but he knows it. He has been here. He knows the reality. It's a question of, winning games. I know they have a lot of absence. I know what happened when you want to build something. Like many players are injured. It happened ourselves last season. So, but of course, he's capable to do it. What require that position, being manager for Madrid. Of course, I have sympathy because it was we were together 1 year and a half, 2 years.
So that was Manchester City's manager Pep Guardiola speaking there. But apart from the Real Madrid and Manchester City games, there will be other games that will be played, and we'll have them on your screen. So at 6:45, Karabakh will take on Ajax, and also Thomas Partey's Villarreal will take on Copenhagen. Then for Iñaki Williams' Athletic Club, They sit at home at the San Mamé and host defending champions Paris Saint-Germain. Borussia Dortmund also welcome Norwegian giants Bodo Glimt, as well as Italian giants Napoli traveling to Portugal to face off with Benfica. Premier League leaders Arsenal will travel to Belgium to face off against Club Brugge, and Juventus sitting at home against Pafos. Leverkusen also would face English Premier League side Newcastle United, as Real Madrid will be facing off against Manchester City at the Santiago Bernabeu. Well, that's all the sports for now. I am Eugene Oforisoti. For more sports news, head to abcnewsgh/sports. International news is up next.
You're still watching ABC Midday News here on ABC News Ghana television. On the international front, Nigerian army soldiers opened fire and killed 9 women protesting the army's handling of communal clashes in the northeastern Adamawa state. Witnesses and Amnesty International told Associated Press on Tuesday. The women were protesting on Monday along a major road in Adamawa's local government, Lamud, where the soldiers shot at them after being blocked from passing. Witnesses and victims' relatives told the AP in detail, first reported on Tuesday. 10 others were injured in the shooting, witnesses said. The Nigerian army, in a statement, denied killing anyone and blamed the death on a local militia it said opened fire in the area. Amnesty International's Nigeria office said the agency confirmed soldiers killed the 9 protesters, citing accounts from witnesses and families of victims. It shows that the Nigerian military has not changed much because of its past record of human rights violations and disregard for the rule of law, according to Isa Sanusi, director of Amnesty International in Nigeria. In more news, clashes broke out in Minneapolis after federal immigration agents entered a Somali neighborhood as part of a new deportation push linked to President Donald Trump's policies. Agents were in the area checking people's identities. When they tried to leave, a crowd gathered around their vehicles and blocked them from driving away. The agents used pepper spray to clear a path, which led to panic and shouting in the street. That's all for international news. Up next is entertainment news. In entertainment, Ghanaian visual artist Sharon Dede Paddy, known as Padiki, has set a Guinness World Record for the largest leaf print painting. The artwork, completed in Accra on July 11, 2025, formed an image of the Ghana flag. Padiki previously attempted a 168-hour painting marathon in 2024, which, though unsuccessful, gained widespread media attention. As CEO of Padiki Art Gallery, she continues to promote African art and women's empowerment. She now joins other recent Ghanaian record breakers, including Roselyn Akosua-Mante for the longest makeup application, and Isliam Nanasam Ankara, the world's youngest artist. That's all for entertainment news, and that's how we wrap up here on ABC Midday News. We stream live on Facebook at ABC News GH _ for more news. Log on to our website at www.abcnews.gh.com. I am Peggy Nyakwamba, and enjoy the rest of your day.